What's up, Writing Workshop? I'm coming at you live from my parents' office in St. Louis. Just spending some time here over spring break. I really appreciate you guys working hard for Mrs. Borst today, as my family and I are traveling back up to Wisconsin today. Wanted to keep today's lesson pretty light with just a little demonstration on how to create your Works Cited page for your persuasive research essay. For all of you, this should be one of the last little finishing touches that you put on your essay before it's due at the end of this week. Friendly reminder, we do have some Chromebook time coming up over these next few lessons to work on this, to finish off conclusions, proofread your work, peer edit during the block lesson, and so on. So I figured today would be a good day for a demonstration. This week is similar to the week before break in that we don't have a whole lot going on outside of class besides finishing off our persuasive research essays. I know some of you are making excellent headway with it. Others have a lot of work to do this week, so let's get right to it. In order to create my Works Cited page, I needed to open up a whole lot, just a lot of different tabs going on right here. I encourage you to set up your screen the same way that I have mine set up. Starting with your essay. Now my essay draft is really tiny. This is just one of the demonstration ones I used in class a couple weeks ago here. But you get the idea. Once again, if I'm using Roe versus Wade, overturning it as my topic. So far I have my attention getter. If I were to flesh out my full essay, I would put all 5 of my paragraphs there. But since I use the MLA template in Word Online, it automatically gave me a Works Cited page that I can build off of. A good Works Cited page does have Works Cited as a title. It could be here or it could be centered. And then you'll notice that it gives me a sample, actually 2 sample citations. Now, writing citations by hand is not the easiest thing in the world. Author's last name, then first name, then the title, then the city name, the publisher, the year, all that information. It's really tedious to write these by hand, so I would recommend using your favorite citation generator online. For me, I've opened up Citation Machine right here. It's really similar in its interface to EasyBib, if you know EasyBib well. I do know that sometimes these are really finicky on school computers, so we might have to play around with this a little bit this week. At the very least, we did find last year that these work just fine on mobile devices, on cell phones. So this might be one of those weird times in class where we may need cell phones in class, but we'll see what happens with the Chromebooks this week. What I would also open up ahead of time are any sources that you cited within your essay. Now, since this is a Works Cited page, you only need to include the sources that you actually used evidence from in your body paragraphs. So any of your direct quotes or paraphrases that you refer to in the body of your essay will have to show up on your Works Cited page. If there were any sources that you simply read but did not use any of their information in your essay, then you do not need to cite those ones. I'm just going to pretend like I used one source per body paragraph. So I found this one from Axios. This one from Healthline. These are ones that I used in demonstrations earlier on this semester. I also used one for my counter-argument paragraph where this Henry Olsen guy for the Washington Post actually made the argument that overturning Roe versus Wade is a good idea. So playing around with some different counterpoints there. But let's say these are the 3 sources that I need to cite, or these are the 3 sources that I did cite in the body of my essay. And now it's time to create a Works Cited page for all 3 of them. So the way that Citation Machine works is that if I give them my websites that I used, it's going to spit out a citation automatically for me. It's also going to tell me if there was any information it had trouble finding, and I will need to double check my sources just to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes. So I'll just start. I usually start with the very first one I referenced in my essay. Let's say it was this one. I'm going to Control-C its URL, paste it, and search. And it looks like Citation Machine found it, so I'll click Cite by this one right here. And here's the review information step. So it's going to ask me to find some information that it did not find itself. Gathering information. Okay, so it found a title just fine. It also found an author, which is good. It looks like it needs help finding a publisher or a sponsor. I'm going to bet that it's Axios itself, but the way to check publisher sponsor is to check the bottom of the web page. I'm looking for a copyright. Let's see. There's a Ukraine article. Interesting. Okay, so it actually didn't give a publisher right there. This is rare, and generally a website's gonna put copyright information on the bottom. I'm gonna bet that Axios is in this About Axios section right here, but I'm going to leave this blank for now. Once again, just in MLA, sometimes there's gonna be information that is not there. If it's not there, it's not there. Move on to the next one. It did include URL, like the day it was published, the day it was accessed. Those are all great. I'm going to hit complete citation. And they're going to make me watch an ad, so I'm going to have to cut this out of our video, as you guys are maybe used to in my videos by now. It might make you watch an ad once every 2 days or something like that. Just simply watch the message and move on to the next one. And we back. The ad is over. One thing I just noticed is that it automatically defaulted for my citation to be an MLA 9. I'll allow that. I'm not super familiar with the changes between MLA 8 and MLA 9. I have to do some research on that myself, but I'll accept it. Generally in our building, anything from MLA... Ooh, I don't even see MLA 7, so... generally in our building, 8 or 9 should be fine. Again, MLA 9 is brand new, so I'll need to do some research on that myself. The nice thing about Citation Machine is just rinse and repeat, just like washing your hair. So Control-C on my next URL, and I should be able to just crank out my next one as well. Oh, create citation. Yeah, they go to the next one, it looks like. Website. Notice that you do have options for books, journals. If you did like a YouTube video or something, that should be under More. Control-V. And here we go. Should find my next one just fine. There it is. Cite. Continue. This one found everything, which is awesome. Complete citation. And you'll notice that this process becomes easier and easier as you practice it. Now I should have 2 citations there. There it is. Notice that it is going in alphabetical order, so it'll do all that organization for me. Might as well close these ones now. And my last one is the Washington Post. Control-C. Create another citation. Here's the website. Site. We'll see if it had trouble finding anything. Henry Olson, good. Wow, I lucked out again. So I have another source where Citation Machine was able to find absolutely everything for me. Friendly reminder, if it doesn't find something like an author name or a publisher, you will need to look for those things yourself. Or yourselves, I should say. But keep in mind, too, that if you're missing something, if your article does not have a listed author, or if it doesn't have a listed publisher, like my first source, that's fine. I just want you to make sure that these citations are as full as possible before you actually copy them down. This is to help us prevent plagiarism in our essays. Complete citation. Let's see if this... And did go in alphabetical order. Perfect. So I do want to see, actually, if copy all works. I don't need to check for accidental plagiarism. And let's actually see how well that works in my document. I'll leave the title Works Cited there, but I can get rid of these placeholders. And actually, yeah, even the indenting is perfect. I just want to center this. There's a tab there. Bang, and I have a nice looking Works Cited page there as well. This should go as its own page at the very end of your essay, just its own separate page at the very, very end, as we see right there. And this is what a good Works Cited page will look like. You might have more sources than the 3 that I used here, and that's totally fine. Once again, you'll need to do this step for every single source that you referred to inside the body of your essay. So any direct quotes or paraphrases you did, those sources should be reflected in your Works Cited page. Thanks, y'all. Again, I'll see you over these next couple of lessons as we get on Chromebooks and wrap up this persuasive research essay. Let's do it to it.